All right. Good morning, Craps fans. This is Scott from Paradise Craps. Back at you for session 10 of the Doey Don't with Lay Odds. So, yes, Dr. Don't Pass One. I did go watch the two videos. Now, when you say Arch Stanton, I'm assuming, because I looked on Charlie's channel and I didn't see anything that said Arch Stanton. But there was an Arch Stanton DGE play along, if you will, that was on Arch Stanton's page. And I'm assuming that that is the one you were talking about. Now, what's interesting is they were playing on the Wizard of Odds site, Arch was, and I know how much you think that that site is bogus and the random number generator is no good. So based on that piece of information, I would say that whatever the results were would be questionable. Okay, send my piece on that one. So I watched that one. The 100, 100, 100, it was like a 2-hour long video. I was not going to dedicate that much time to it. I did start watching it. And my takeaway was, you know, Charlie's way of playing is basically chasing his losses. So basically when he gets, he bets on something for a reason. But if it fails, he has the bankroll and he just keeps martingaling it until he wins, puts him back to where he was, and then he continues on, you know, with his strategy. So, yeah, that was really my main takeaway, again, from this one. Now, he did roll out a couple of $500 bankroll ones. One was a little over an hour recently, just the last few days. One was a little over an hour, and one was 20 minutes. I watched the 20-minute one a couple of times, actually, just to try to understand, you know, what he's doing in his strategy. And my takeaway from that was also, you know, he is chasing his losses. And now he plays the inside numbers for 3 rolls and tries to capitalize on those. Got it. On the come out, after the come out. He still has his don't pass. He will use don't pass odds to hedge the 5, 6, 8, and 9. Whatever he's got out there, he'll hedge it on the don't pass lay odds. And then once the 3 rolls are done, he turns them off and he reduces his don't pass lay odds to whatever, $10 or some minimal amount. So that was my takeaway on what he was doing on that. Other than that, he's pretty much doing exactly what we're doing. You know, the pass and don't pass, and just using lay odds. He wasn't actively doing his 4 count and 10 count like he has in the past. I don't know if he does that with the larger bankroll, but to me, the 4 and 10 count is just the opposite of what we're doing with the 7 count. Right, counting out the number of 7s. So really not a lot of difference in that. And he's kind of doing the same thing after 4 4s. You know, he's saying that the roll probability is that you're not going to see another 4 soon. And so then he puts his layout on the 4, where I'm doing just the opposite. I'm doing it with the 7. So very similar in that regard. I don't think he understands the probability, because he was the back-to-back 7s part of it. So the probability of before you roll anything, the probability of rolling back-to-back 7s is the probability of rolling a 7 squared. He got that absolutely correct. But once you roll the first one, now the probability is just the single roll probability, because you've already rolled 1, so that becomes 1, right? Because it happened. So now your probability of rolling another one is just a single roll probability, 1 in 6 of rolling the 7 again. So his idea of leaving it off for the back-to-back 7, so you get 7'd out, and then he waits until another 7, and then he'll turn on for his 3 rolls. I guess thinking that another 7 is not going to come out right away, but again, it's that single roll probability. So, you know, I think taking a shot at the 3 3 rolls is not unreasonable. I think that that's a reasonable way to play on the light side and capitalize a little bit on that. But, you know, anybody that's been watching my rolls, you know, your PSOs or your .7 ounce, .7 ounce, you know, you're going to get those 1 rolls and 2 rolls, you know, fairly frequently. So, you know, you're going to get whacked for whatever you've got out there on your 5, 6, 8, and 9. And the other thing was that I thought was very interesting was he chases his losses, right? So if he loses on one of those, then he just goes out for a double the bet, you know, to try to get it back immediately. You know, immediately he'll do some other bet to try to get it back. I don't like on the 6 and 8. He was staying away from them for the most part, which I 100% agree with. But then he would do lay odds on them, and like that doesn't make any sense. If you're going to do lay odds, do it on the 4 and 10, which gives you the biggest advantage. Even though you have to pay 1 to 2 to do it, you're still going to hit them much less frequently than you are the 6 and 8. So that part of it, I didn't agree with. Yeah, that was it. It was interesting, very similar to what we're doing, and I think it's different than the way he played years ago when I started watching his videos, and I haven't watched any in a long time. So that was an interesting roll. All right, so let's keep doing what we're doing. You know, and then he was putting some money on the field and then chasing the field losses until he hit. It's like, yeah, that's one level below the prop bets. You know, it's like, don't put your money on the line on the field. And oh, the other thing that I thought was very interesting in his video was he only took shots, you know, whacks at like my lay 4 if I'm doing a lay 4 or whatever, when he was in profit. So he would only risk his profit to do those outside, you know, bets and try to capitalize on whatever it was, whether it was the inside numbers, and that way he doesn't have to do any kind of hedge or anything to get it back. He's just gambling, and he's putting that money at risk, but he's only doing it, you know, for the money that he is up in profit. All right, so what are we doing? 300, 400. All right. Oh, who we got here? Red Eye. Like your, yeah, thank you. It says Red Eye, right? Hey, Red Eye. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's my practice rig. I call it my COVID practice rig because I use my COVID money to put it together a couple years ago, whenever that was, when COVID started and we got our COVID checks. So since I was working from home and I decided to, I don't even know why, I started following craps and looking into craps. I think it was mostly the dice influencing stuff that initially piqued my interest. But yeah, I put this one together with that COVID check. I didn't spend all of it, but you know, that was what started it. Anyway, good morning. Thank you. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 75, 80. And then we'll do, it's a, the bottom is one of those folding 6-foot Costco type tables. And then I have 3 pieces of 5/8 birch plywood that I put together. So it's 3 sections. And then I put the little clamps on them like you'd see on a dining room table, you know, for the leaves to kind of cinch them up tight together. And then I've got I bought some suspenders on eBay, and I've got suspenders across the bottom to kind of cinch it up side to side. And that's really about it. And I have these on the end, which are my cup holders and clamps, so that keeps the layout on the board on that side. Underneath, right here, I have marine grade vinyl. There's a step right here, and then I have flannel also to try to mimic, you know, a real table. Yeah, cool. Yeah, it's a good way to go. I think I'm a little bit narrower than a real table by a few inches, but I maintain the 18 inches here. So the flat is 18 to 18, so that represents the flat on the back wall. And then obviously these are just, you know, the sides are in a little bit closer than they would be on a real table. All right, so we're going to do $15 Doey Don't. And we got, didn't I take some dice out? I thought I did. What did I do with them? No, I did not. I had them out. I didn't take any out. All right, here we go. Coming out. 7. Come out 7. All right. Nothing on that one. Only way we lose is a 12. 4. All right. So we're on a 4. We're a 2-to-1 favorite with the 7. Pays 1 to 2. We're going to do a $30 lay odds on the 4. Here we go. Roll number 2 is a 6. Roll number 3 is an 8. 6 on roll number 4. Roll number 5 is a 4, so that's going to be a 4 hit. All right, so that's roll 5. We're going to lose our $30. All right, so what would Charlie do? WWCD, what would Charlie do? All right, so now, I think, so we lost 30 there. If we do a $50 lay 4, we'll get 25 of that back, assuming that we get a 7 before a 4. All right, so we got a 9. So we're on the 9. $15 lay odds on the 9. And there we go. And we got a 6, roll number 2. And we got a 7 out on roll number 3. So that was a pretty short roll. Or I'm sorry, that was roll number 8. Because we hadn't seen a 7. That was roll number 8, I apologize. Alright, so we'll reset that off the 9. So the lay odds are going to pay us 10 for the 15, 2 to 3. We'll take that, and our lay 4 is going to, for the dollar vig, is going to pay us a quarter. So we lost $30 on the 4 before, and now we got 25 plus the 10, so we got 35 back. So we made an extra $5 on that. So I think that's kind of the way Charlie would play it. Here we go, coming out. 8. All right, so 6 and 8, we're not playing anything on, we're not doing any odds on, we're just incrementing our counter, keeping track of the count. 6. Second roll. 7 out. All right, so that's going to reset our counter. And that was on the 3rd roll. So we would have had, well, he's on for the come out. So that would have been 3 rolls. Still would have been 3 rolls. We would have been knocked off. All right, here we go. Coming out. 8, 6, 2, 8. All right. On the 8. Maybe we'll try that next time. 6, 3, 9. Second roll. Just to kind of play it the way he's doing it. And then we got a 6. And we got a 7 out. All right, so that's going to come off. All right, so let's try it Charlie's way and see how that's going to work. So what would he do? Now he's doing like a $5 table. I'm assuming we're at a $15 table, which is more normal. So what is that going to be? That's going to be 30, 60, $66 inside. All right, so let's do $66 inside. 50, 65, 66. 50, 65, 66. All right, so that's $66 inside. And we are, so to hedge that $66, what do we need? We need $120, $140, $150 probably. $150 will pay us 75. Boy, that's a lot to hedge on a 7 though. And And we can't put odds until we actually get a point, right? So we're still exposed. We can't do any kind of lay odds. So if we do working on the come out, we can't really hedge it except for the lay. We could lay 150, which is a proper bet. So we're taking a chance that we don't get whacked. So 150 is going to pay 75. That's going to be a $3 vig. I don't know. I got to go back and watch his videos and understand how he handles the come out. All right, so we're working on the come out. We got a 9. All right, so now we're on the 9. And that's roll number 1. So now we can take our lay down. See, this is getting too complicated for me too quick. All right, so with a 9, we're going to do $15 in lay odds, but we got 66 out there. So we need to do, I'm just going to take it down. I'm not going to mess around with that. Just stick with the strategy I know. All right, here we go. Easier that way. All right, so what do we got? We got come out 9. I guess we had a 7 before that. All right, and we got $15 in lay odds. Here we go. And we got an 8, 6, 2, 8. Roll number 2. Roll number 3 is a 10. Roll number 4 is 2. 2 craps. Oh, hey BAM, how you doing? 7 out. Yeah, go watch. He just released a couple of $500 bankroll ones that are interesting. All right, so that's going to pay us 10 for our 15. I made some comments about him at the beginning of this video, but kind of what my takeaways were. All right. Yeah, oh yeah, I did. I watched the stabs, right? Yeah, exactly. Yep. Yeah, I just watched both of his $500 bankroll ones that he released recently. Yeah, and I thought it was really interesting that he's doing the Doey don't like we're doing. And I don't remember him doing that early on, years ago when I started watching his videos. And he's doing a Doey don't with the lay odds. And then exactly, he's doing the stab. He'll take a stab when he's in profit, right? All right, so let's reset our counter, which I thought was interesting because I haven't been doing that, and I think that makes sense. Yeah, normally he does, but he just released 2 $500 bankroll ones. Definitely go watch those, because it's definitely more in line with what we're doing here. You know, unless you have a $10,000 bankroll and that's the way you like to roll. But all right, so we're on to 8. And it's interesting because it seems like his methodologies have evolved also over time. Well, I guess as you get more experience, you know, those things change. And his math is pretty solid. I don't think he's got it 100%, but it's definitely pretty solid. $11. 11. All right, so that was roll 4. Two craps, roll 5. Yeah, I thought it was interesting how he was continually checking his bankroll. 1, 2, 3, 4, 50, 65, 95, 500. So it looks like we're only up about 10 bucks. 5. We're up 13 bucks, 14 bucks. All right. And that's a 10 on roll 6. And it's a 7 out, so that's going to reset our counter. All right. Coming out. 5 fever. roll number 1. All right, so we're on the 5. $15 lay odds on the 5. 9. 12. Roll number 3. 11. Roll number 4. 6. Roll number 5. 4. Roll number 6. 9. Roll number 7. 3 for roll number 8. 3 for roll number 9. Are we going to get there? 5-point hit for roll 10. All right. So we're off of that. Reset. That was, yeah, so that was roll 10 off the 5. So we're going to lose 15. I'm going to go out for $50. So 50 will get us 25. Lay 4. There we go. All right. What do you say, BAM? He has some videos where he's in a casino, and I'm thinking he must have his phone in his shirt pocket and it's recording. It's interesting the size and variance of the. Yeah, he's a crazy man. Yeah, oh yeah, no, he does. But he has the bankroll to chase that, because that's one of his. He just chases his losing bets, right? He puts out a bet based on whatever his rationale is at the time, and if he's wrong and he gets bumped off, he just bumps it up. He keeps going big, and chasing it, and then, you know, hopefully he hits, and normally he will, because he's got a big enough bankroll to chase it all the way down to nothing, really. That was one of the things, like in his $100. All right, where are we at? So that was roll 11, maybe. Yep. 7 out. Roll 12. Okay. So, oh shoot, I should have had my $15 out there. Darn it. All right. Well, we'll take it. We'll take the quarter for the dollar vig. Yeah, on his 100 videos that Dr. Don't Pass One was recommending, that was one of the things I noticed. He basically chased a loss down to nothing. He had nothing, you know, fumed in his tray, and then, you know, he hit, and then he was able to recover. But yeah, I don't know. A lot of his bets I disagree with. I don't think that they were the right mathematical play. But again, he just keeps moving stuff around, and he keeps upping his bets until he hits, and then he resets, and then he just kind of goes back to what he was doing. And, you know, if he loses, he just keeps chasing. You know, I don't know. Yeah, I think obviously he's made good money doing it, you know, but not really for me. All right, 5. All right, so we're on the 5, and we got to reset that because we did get a 7. Roll number 1, and we will do $15 in lay odds. Here we go. 8. Roll number 2. 7 out. Roll number 3. All right. All right, so that's going to pay us 10 for our 15. Back in our rack. And let's do a quick count. What we got? So we got, reset this. 1, 2, 3, 425, 450, 475, 85, 95, 5. All right, so we're up $32 right now. Tough to make that work for us on a cruise ship with 500 max bets. Yeah, well, and he said that. Did you go watch his cruise summary? I forget what he called it, but he just put it out a few days ago also. Cruise ship summary or something like that. It was interesting because he went through the whole. You did watch it? Yeah, right. So he talked about that specifically. You know, basically trying to buy in for $10,000, and they basically said you can't because it'll take all of our chips, and and then, you know, coming back with 5,000 and coming back with 2,000. So he kept lowering his bankroll because of that limit, right? The limit, the $500 limit. So, but he was able to adjust to it, and it sounds like he still made, you know, decent money on it. So again, that was a good adjustment on his part. He wasn't playing, you know, the baller style that he normally does. He had to play more of a, not really a low roller, because that's still pretty good sized bankroll, but you know, for him it was definitely a low roller type strategy. But yeah, it was interesting. 9, Neener. All right, so that's roll number 1. So what did you learn from his videos that we could do differently in this strategy to make it a better strategy, do you think? All right, $15 lay odds on the 9. I didn't like the fact that he was laying odds on the 6 and 8. I thought that was not a smart move. All right, so 5, 4, 9. We hit the point on roll number 2. So we're going to lose that 15. All right, so my question from earlier was, what would Charlie do? All right, so we got knocked off for 15, because that was one of the things I've noticed about him is if he gets knocked off one of his bets, he immediately goes after it, right? He immediately seems to go after trying to recover it. So I would say, all right, we lost 15. Let's do a $40 lay 4, right? So 25, 35, $40 lay $4 vig coming out. 8. All right. So we're not doing anything else with the 8, so we'll just wait, hope for a 7. And we got an 8, so we're off the point. All right, so that's 2. So this is roll 5 coming out. All right, so we got a 4. All right, so we're on the 4, so we're going to lose that 40. All right, so we're losing 40 plus the 15 that we were trying to recover, 55. All right, so let's put that there. All right, so let's do a $90 lay odds. That'll pay us 45. And what did I say we lost? So we lost the 50, 65, right? We had 40 out here, 40, 55. So that's going to pay us 45. So then we'll do another $50 lay 4. All right, let's see if we can get a 7. We got a 9. Whoa, got a 6. Got a 5. Oh, we got a 4. Damn it. All right, well, so 75, 90. All right, that was 90, and this is another 50, so that's 140, plus what we were trying to get back. So now it's basically, see, I don't like that. Now it's basically an all-in, you know, so that sucks. All right, so we'll do 1, 2, all right, there is 3. That's 10. That's 25. All right, so that's 300 bucks. 300 bucks going to pay 150, and we'll worry about the vig afterwards. Well, we have to pay that up front, don't we? All right, so 150 is going to cost us $7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wow. All right, so what are we going to do? Take these down to, well, we can if it's a $15 table. So we'll just do it all on the don't pass. There's my $7. There you go. All right, there we're all in, going for broke. Looking for, well, actually, if I'm looking for a 7, I don't want to be on the don't. So we'll go on the pass line. Here we go. 9, Neener. All right, so we're on the 9. And we got an 8. And we got a 7 out. Hadn't seen one in a long time. All right, so that's going to pay us $150. So there's $150, and there's our $7 VIG, and we're going to lose this $15 on the pass line. All right. So where are we at? So 450. All right, so we're down, but we're down a lot less. The dark side can be brutal. Yeah, but at least the math is on our side. BAM. A true gambler. Who? Charlie? Absolutely. Didn't really learn anything new from it. I did think he was more disciplined after watching some of his at-home videos when he talked about taking a challenge. Yeah, I mean, it was interesting watching the $500 buy-ins because he kept talking about, you know, just small ball, playing small ball, right? Small bets, small bets, small bets. Do that $7, $7, $7. I mean, you're looking for $100, but you know, so he was pretty much hammering on that point of, you know, just do the $7 wins to get there, right? Yeah, he is a true gambler for sure. Yeah, to me, it doesn't have a lot of replay value, you know, watching him play. It's all kind of the same stuff. I don't understand why you guys like watching me play this out and practice. Honestly, I don't get it. You know, every other day I look and there's another subscriber. It's like, what the flip am I doing that makes it interesting enough to even want to watch? I really don't get it. All right, so where are we at? So we need some more nickels. So let's do 50 in nickels. All right, there's 50 in nickels for 2 greens. All right, oops, probably going to need some more singles too, but for now, so we're still down, what, about 50 bucks? All right, there's 450. 460. All right, so we're down 40 bucks. Okie doke. So let's go back out for our $15 Doey Don't. And we want to take a pot shot again. And that was the other thing that I thought was interesting about Charlie was, you know, he made it a point to say, I only take these stabs, pot shots, you know, stabs when I am in profit. So we're not in profit, but I'm doing it. All right, so that was a come out 12, loser. Here we go. 5, fever. All right, so we're on the 5. We have an advantage on the 5. Normally it would be 15, and we lost 15 there, so let's do 30. All right, so 30 is going to pay us 20. Here we go. And we got a 3 craps. And we got a 10. Seven out. All right, so we took a stab at the lay 4. We were successful that time. Going to pay us a quarter. That goes back up here. We had our $30 out there. Is going to pay us 20. So we can take that back down. All right. And he was always checking his bankroll, right? Always making sure he knew where he was. I thought that was smart. Kind of what Dr. Don't Pass said. All right, so we got 1, 2, 3, 425, 450, 460, 490. All right, so we're still down 8 bucks. Here we go. 9, neater. All right, so we're on the 9. Back to the basic strategy. $15 lay odds on the 9. Got a 2 craps. 3 craps. 8. 10. Roll number 4. 7 out. Roll number 5. All right, so that's going to pay us 10 on our 20. Sorry, 10 on our 15 for the 9. There we go. All right, so we should be back up to even now. All right, 1, 2, 3, 425, 450, 60, 70, plus 3. There's our 500, so we're up like $3. All right, coming out. 7, come out 7. Doesn't mean anything except we're going to reset our 7 counter there. Our roll counter, not our 7 counter, but our roll counter. 11, roll 1. 6, roll 2. Oh, I didn't look at the clock when we started. 8, roll 3. That was a 6, right? All right. So let's roll 3. 3, roll 4. Is that 3 or 4? I'll say that was 3. 9 is roll 4. 8, roll 5. 8, roll 6. 6, roll 7. All right, so that's going to be 7. Coming out. 5, roll 8. All right, so we're on the 5, $15 lay odds on the 5. That was roll 8. Roll 9 is a 10. And can we get to roll 10? We did with a 4. All right, so that is 10 rolls. So I am going to take a stab at a $50 vig, lay 4. Thank you very much, BAM. 9. All right. 8. Don't really need to keep track at this point because we already reached the 10. That's the only one I'm really kind of tracking. 9. 8. 7 out. All right, so that's going to pay us 10 for our 15 in lay odds, and that's going to cost us $1 vig and pay us a quarter. All right, so now we should be up, what, about $30? Reset our counter here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 50. There's 5. Yep, 30 bucks, 31 bucks, 32 bucks. All right, here we go, coming out. 4. All right. So on the 4, we're going to do $30 lay odds. Looking for big red. There it is. 3, 4, 7 out. All right, so that's going to pay us 15 for our 30. 1 to 2. Back in our rack. And coming out. BAM. The all-in stab at the 4 turned it around. Yeah, absolutely, right? And we hadn't seen a 7 in quite a while. So, you know, we're already a 2-to-1 favorite on the 4 against the 7, or the 7 against the 4. So, you know, getting knocked off of the 4, rather than turning tail and just going back to the baseline bet. And that's kind of what Charlie does, right? So if you got a reason for being on it and you get knocked off because, the 7 just hasn't shown up yet, you got to have enough bankroll. And I basically went all in, trying to catch it, right? I think I had to go in twice to catch the 7, but I did catch a 7. And if I wouldn't have caught the 7 and when I busted out, I still would have done it the same way. So yes, that is the bigger gamble. Again, I think it's a calculated gamble, and I think it's a gamble that is, mathematically on our side. But yeah, 100% gamble for sure. But yep, that did. Turned it around so far. All right, so we're on a 9. Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like doing that. I don't like having to do that. But unfortunately, it's a necessary evil. More times than I would like. All right, so we're on the 9. We got 1 roll in. We got our $15 out there. And we got a 7 out. All right. I mean, because you can see even when we're playing here, it's like there won't be any 7s, and you're like, damn, where the hell are the 7s? And then they just start coming, right? You start getting them bam, bam, bam. Sorry. Yeah, not bam, bam, bam. But anyway, they start coming out, like they should to catch up, right? So basically, it's the roll probability thing again. We should only expect to see them 1 every 6 times, and 1 every 6 rolls on average. But if we don't see it over a long period of time, like, point after point after point, then it's more likely that you're going to see a higher frequency of them. And kind of what Charlie was saying, he did his little pyramid thing, and he's absolutely right? So it was interesting to me to have him explain how he uses the roll probability, single roll probability, and then the overall, roll distribution, roll distribution. In his methodology, which is exactly what we're doing here. So cool. Peace out on that one for sure. That one play turned a wipeout into a profitable session the way it's going. Yeah, so far the way it's going, but I mean, we had everything at risk, right? So that one hand could have very easily gone the other way and wiped out the whole session. So, and obviously that does happen. So, but yes, that definitely turned around. And you can, like I was, and that was kind of the point I was trying to make was, if you have enough bankroll to be able to get past those bumps in the road, if you will, and then, those 7s start coming, you have to kind of recognize that and then be able to capitalize on those 7s. So what does that mean? So that means maybe doing more lay 4s on the come out. If you're expecting to see the 7s start coming, you got to figure out how to kind of take advantage of those if you can. I'm not really doing that, but I should be doing that. Yeah, so I don't know. All right, here we go, coming out. And we got a 6, 4, 2, 6. So we're not doing anything on that except counting. On the 6, off the 6, roll number 2, coming out, 7, come out 7. All right, so it's going to reset our counter. And we got a 10, 6, 4, 10. All right, so we're on the 10, $30 in lay odds. Here we go. Looking for big red. There it is. 617 out. PSO on the 10. So that's going to win us 15 for our 30. Back in our rack. And let's do a chip count. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 50, 5, 25, 35, 45, 75, 80, $77. We're up $77 right now. So that's not bad. So it's about 40 minutes. Coming out. 8, 6, 2, 8. All right. So yeah, that was kind of the one thing though. That was maybe the biggest takeaway was his wanting to get back his loss. So if he does something, he bets something, and he loses it, I mean, he immediately, compensates for that with a bigger bet to try to get that back. Whereas with me, I'm kind of waiting. I'm kind of using that 10 count as my compass for when I want to take a poke at the 4 or 10, because I think I have a better chance than just the single roll probability. I also have the distribution probability working in my favor. So, but again, you know, there's also times, which you've seen me even in this session, you know, I'll take a poke at the lay 4, right? Regardless of the count. Count could be very early. Just take a poke at the lay 4 because, again, we have a 2-to-1 advantage, you know, over the 4 with the 7 at any time. It's just, to me, waiting for a 10 count gives us a better advantage because then we have both the single roll and the distribution working in our favor. That's my opinion anyway. What the hell do I know? I'm just a craps player. All right, 10, roll number 5. Seven out. All right, so that's a reset on roll number 6. And what is roll number 6? That is the average, right? That's the average number of rolls between 7s. Parched. Okay. Oh, where am I at? I lost my video. We're still recording? Still. My speaker thing is on. My microphone is on. I don't see me in the video though. Yep, it's still incrementing. What does it say? 47 minutes. All right. Maybe it's just my tablet. Yeah, it's still on. All right, thank you. Okay, here we go. Coming out. Yeah, my tablet's still showing the... Oh, no, it's showing my glass there. Okay. All right, 3 craps. So that's going to be 1 roll. 7, come out 7. So it's just going to reset our counter. 9, Neener. All right, so that's roll number 1. And that's an 8. Roll number 2. $15 in lay odds on the 9. And we got a 6. Roll number 3. Oh! Hit the sidewall. 6. Got to make sure you hit the back wall every time, sir. Yes. Yes, sir. I'll try harder, boss. All right. 4. All right, so that's roll number 5. And we got a 7 out on roll number 6. And what is roll number 6? That is probability right there. Average probability. All right, so that's going to pay us 10 for our 15. Slowly we're making some money. Slowly. But that's what Charlie says, right? So don't be in a hurry. Just the casino takes it from everybody slowly. So we got to try to take it from the casino slowly, right? Big bets means big losses potentially. Small bets, small losses. All right. So where are we at? 1, 2, 3, 4, 50, 5, 55, 85, 86. Oh, plus a nickel. 91. All right. Here we go, coming out. Looking for my 20%, 100 bucks, 100 bucks, 100 bucks, 100 bucks. All right, so we're on the 5. $15 in lay odds. Roll number 1. And we got an 8, it looks like. We'll call it an 8. Could have been a 6, but we'll call it an 8. All right. And we got an 8. No questioning that one. And we got a 5-point hit. Alright, so that was roll 4. So we're off the 5. We're going to lose that 15. Alright, so what would Charlie do? Would he go bigger? Because he was doing that too, right? He was doing, so that was roll 4. And let's see what point we get. Alright, so we got a 6. That was roll 5. Alright, so do we want to take a poke at the 4? That was only a roll 5 though. Let's see if we can get some more out of that. Let's roll 6. That's a 10. Roll 7 is a 6. Roll 8 is a 9. So we'll do $15 on that one. Alright. Roll 9 is a 3. Alright. Can we get a roll 10? We cannot. 7 out on the 9. Alright. So that was roll 10. That was our 7 out. Going to pay us 10 for our 15. Back in our rack. Reset our counter. Alright. So I think we're down a little bit now from where we were. 1, 2, 3, 4, 50, 5, 50, 81. Yep, so we're down $5. Here we go, coming out. So what would Charlie do? So let's bump that up. Nah, it doesn't matter, right? So we don't need to bump that up. It's really the lay odds are all we care about. All right, so there's a 9. So we're on a 9. So let's say we do a $30 in lay odds on the 9. Let's see if we can get a 7. You know what? I don't really like doing that either, because it doesn't make sense to me. Let's do it the normal $15 on the 9. If I want to take a poke, I should just do it on the 4 or 10. That makes the most sense to me. Wow, we got knocked off the 4. All right, so there's the 4. So we're going to lose that 50. All right, so I'm going to go out for 150. So that's $75, $3 vig. We'll pay that. 5. Seven out. 61. All right, so that's going to be 10 for our 15, and we're going to pay $3 vig, so we're going to get $2 back on that, and we're going to get $75. And that's going to be the end of the session. I think we lost what, 50, and we made 75, so we made a quarter on that one. Just a second, Red Eye, I'll answer you. All right, so let's take this 25 back. All right, so we got that. This was our change from the vig. That was the vig. All right, I think we're good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 75, 5, 75, 80, plus 30, 110. All right, so that's going to be it for this session. Whatever that was, let me check the time real quick. 54 minutes, so yeah, it's not bad. $100 in a little bit less than an hour. I'm happy with that. So I don't set the dice. I did try that. I'll show you. This was let me take my phone out of my little housing here. This is my throwing station I have right here that I have set up at stick left. That would be stick left 1. So I spent and again, I set this up early on in COVID. And I spent, oh my goodness, I would say a better part of a year and a half trying to learn dice influencing. I took a couple of classes. I took a class with Ronnie at Casino Quest. and I took some lessons from Heavy on one of his craps cruises, and watched all the videos. And the thing is, if you get Bone Tracker, which is a free Excel spreadsheet from Heavy, Axis Power Craps, go to his website and you can get that spreadsheet, and you use a red die and a blue die, or two different colored die, doesn't matter, and you track your throws. I did that. I did that religiously for I don't know how many 720 throws sessions, and honestly, I was never any better than random. My rolls were never any better than random. And if you go, I thought it was really interesting was just the other day, and I don't watch him much at all anymore, but I watched George early on years ago, George from CY, but he just posted his results from 2022, and if you look at, and he tracked, I don't know what it was, but it was a lot of data. I mean, he basically tracked all of his rolls and plotted them all out. And you look at his probability, really not much better than random, honestly. So I don't. I think and I think Charlie explained it. His feeling is pretty much the same as mine. It's a cottage industry, the whole dice influencing thing, but is it real? When you really think about, the dynamics of the dice, and again, and if you can roll them softly, and if you can hit just that lower part of the back wall, the lower part of the pyramids, to make sure you're hitting the back wall to be compliant with the rules and keeping them on axis, then, could you do it? Yes, I still think you could do it. But it is definitely an athletic endeavor. It's something that you have to build the muscle memory for, and there's so many variables in the table makeup, the table construction, and if you don't hit them gently, then forget it. It's just pure random. It's going to be random, and I think it was interesting because there was a couple on the cruise, this last cruise, husband and wife, I'm guessing, and she was tossing. And he was very supportive and saying, yeah, good job, you did a good job. But when you look at the dice in the air, they're like way far apart, different altitudes. It's like, no, I mean, you're not doing her any favors by saying, great job, good toss. It was a shitty toss. It was like, that's not the way you do it if you're trying to control the dice. So, no, I don't set the dice anymore. To me, it just slows the game down, and there's really no advantage. I guess that's my feeling on that. So, can it be done? It can be done, I think, but probably not by the charlatans that pitch it. Again, those who can do, those who can't teach, and I think that is very appropriate saying for those particular people. It's like even watching Howard, and I love Howard, and I love watching his videos. And I've recorded a couple that I can try to use. But again, it's like they throw a 7, and it's like, yeah, great roll. They were trying to not throw a 7, but he's talking about how they stayed together and how they hit the deck just right, but still, they got a 7. So anyway, did I explain that well enough? Are my feelings clear on dice setting? And I thought Charlie was good too, because he said, so you'll see, and he said this, you'll see me set an all 7 set, right? A 3, 4, 1, 6, whatever. It's actually 6, 1, 6, 1 on axis. So 3, 4, 2, 5, whatever, something like that, right? 3, 4, flip it this way, there we go. 3, 4, 2, 5. So the all 7 set. And he said, yeah, I do it. Do I think it's making any difference? He goes, no, but I'm scared that I'm going to, not get my 7, so I'll do whatever I can to try to help it out. That was his explanation. All right, good job. Are you trying to learn dice influencing? By all means, I mean, you should try it and see what you think yourself. But again, I would just say to anybody that is doing dice influencing, go get the spreadsheet or make your own spreadsheet, whatever, but track your rolls. And it has to be a significant number. It has to be that 720 range. It has to be a significant number before you have any real, data that you can analyze. But, in my case, I did. I tried several times. I was just never able to get it beyond random probability. So now, I will also say that I've gotten hammered on the table doing my lay 4 by somebody down at the other end setting the dice and shooting for me and knocking me off the 4. And that really bugs the shit out of me. So at this point, I try not to bet the dark side stuff against other players, which can make it really grindy because you have to wait for your turn, and an orbit can take a long time if you got a full table. But also, if anybody's doing anything with the dice, because you'll see people pick up the dice, if they do anything, if they're not just picking them up and chucking them like I am, I'm not going to bet against them at all, right? If they're just picking them up and chucking them like I am, then possibly I will, bet with the house, not against them, but with the house. But depending, but rarely. I think that if they're doing anything to try to impart any kind of influence that could potentially change the true, pure probability, random probability, then I don't want to mess with that because I'm relying on the math based on the random probability. So that's kind of my opinion. You're trying the 5-4-2-3, 5-4-2-3. Yeah, that's the all 7 set. It doesn't really matter, right? As long as you got 6-1, 6-1, it can be, it can be the 3-5-4-2, in any of those. It's all 7. And it can be a 6-1, 1-6, right? You can do it that way. As long as you keep the 6-1, 6-1 on axis, that's the bottom line. And you want to keep you want the 7s on there, so you have to double pitch in order to get the 4 for us, right? Because that was what I was thinking was if I could keep them on axis, with any kind of frequency beyond random, and I can keep them from double pitching, then there's no way to make a 4, right? If I can keep them off the hard 4 and the easy 4s are covered with the ones that are hidden, on axis, that's like that. That's the ideal set. You've tried throwing the all 7 to keep from throwing 1. Yeah, that's pretty true. You can pretty much throw the all 7 and never hit a flipping 7. Well, because once they start exploding, as George says, once they explode, whether they explode one way or explode the other way, it is. But again, so once they go random, there's 6 ways. With this, there's only 4 ways to make a 7. Right? So the advantage is for us that are laying the 4 and 10, it eliminates the 4 and 10 unless you double pitch. If you can keep them on axis, it eliminates 2 out of your 3 4s or 10s. And if you can keep it from double pitching, then you eliminated the last one, the third one, from showing up. So even though you have fewer 7s with 4 instead of 6, you've reduced the number of 4s and 10s. But again, I have not had any luck doing that. Yeah, that's your idea. Sir Law, good morning. Yeah, right. Even if I don't want to hit a 7, I throw the all 7 set. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, I don't know. I do it, and it's kind of the same reason that Charlie was saying. It's like, hey, I don't believe in it, but if there's even a slight chance, and I got a whole bunch of money, in his case, he does have a whole bunch of money riding on it, I'm going to give it a shot because, I got nothing to lose except a bunch of money. So, but, all right, so there's the all 7 set. So those traveled pretty well together, hit the back wall with not a lot of energy, a little bit more on this die. But this one went off axis because I got a 1 there, and we ended up with a 5-1. So it's a skill. I mean, it's definitely a skill, and it's something that you have to work on quite a bit to build your muscle memory. And if you're willing to dedicate the time and you can come up with a grip that works for you and a toss that works for you, then more power to you. Now, that one was a little bit high-low. That was another 6. But so, again, one die off axis. Anyway, all right. Anyway, so that was session 10. what did we end up making? 100 and something, 113 maybe? 1, 2, 3, 4, 75, 5, 110, yeah, 113. $113 in a little less than an hour. All right. Well, I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you for watching, and hopefully you got something out of it. Thank you for taking time out of your Saturday morning, and we'll see you back here maybe a little bit later today, and we'll try session 11. All right. Take care, guys. Thanks. Scott from Paradise Craps.